Okay, this is lesson 18 for Algebra 1, two-step equations. Last time we had the guest here, okay? But I also recorded the lesson, so this is a continuation. So it's the same steps, same process. You're thinking backwards. You know how you said the backwards tape, right? Remember, like on YouTube, there's those like cool videos where like, oh cool, there's someone jumping out of the water onto the diving board. You ever see something like that? And you're like, that's so cool. How do they do that? They just take the video and they put it in reverse. So it's the same idea. We're kind of figuring out what happened in the story. We're going backwards in the story. That's the big idea, okay? Here are the steps for today. So same thing, locate the equal sign, draw a fence. I think the teacher last week said draw like a line. I call it a fence. You'll see what I do. Locate the variable, okay? Use backwards orders of operations. So when we work in math, we're always using PEMDAS, orders of operations, but when we do solving, we think backwards. So we just flip it. You see how it's SADMAP, it's backwards. PEMDAS, backwards. You all see that? PEMDAS backwards, SADMAP, okay? Good. Justify your steps, meaning like what properties you just use, and then check your answer at the end. So here we go. Numbers 1, 2, just watch up here, eyes up here, okay? So when you do these, you know, we could tell a story for each one, okay? So you're trying to figure out what happened in the story. So we're figuring out what does A stand for, how much is it worth. So first thing I do is find the equal sign, and I'm drawing my fence, okay? Then I'm finding the letter here is A, okay? And I'm looking at the operations around the A. There's a times in between the 3 and the A, and then there's a plus sign there, right? And then I'm going to write my orders of operations, but backwards, SADMAP, okay, on the side. And I'm asking myself, you know, going down this list, are there any subtraction signs by the A? Are there any subtraction signs by the A? No. So then I'm going to cross out the S, okay? Next thing I'm going to do, is there any addition signs by the A? Yeah, there's a plus 3. What's the opposite of plus 3? Minus 3. So you just go minus 3 on each side. Then you have to be really careful here. 3A we didn't touch, so we're going to bring that down. 3A. Positive 3 minus 3 is 0, right? It cancels out, right? Bring down the equal sign. Negative 3 minus 3 is? Negative 6, okay? Next thing we're going to do is divide both sides. Or I'm sorry, next thing we're going to do is see if there's any division signs. There aren't. Next we're going to check if there are any multiply signs. Yeah, there's a multiply sign between the 3 and the A. So times 3, we divide both sides by 3. So we get A is equal to negative 2, okay? And that's it. It's been isolated, okay? A is equal to negative 2. Next thing we're going to do is just ask ourselves, what property do we use? When I subtracted 3 on both sides, what property do I do when I subtract things? What was the property? It's going to be subtraction property, okay, of equality. Okay, you could just put subtraction property, that's fine. And then when I divided both sides, I used the division property. That's it, okay? That's for number 1, okay? Number 2. Number 2 is a little bit more difficult. This one, watch carefully, okay? I've always said that any numerator and denominator has its own hidden parentheses around the whole thing. So look at number 2. The numerator, negative 7 plus x, really has parentheses around it, okay? Also, the 10 has parentheses around it, but it's by itself, so we kind of just assume that they're there, okay? So, again, we're going to write SADMAP on the side, backwards orders of operations, just to remind ourselves what order to go in here, okay? Are there any subtraction signs up here? Yeah, there's a negative 7 here, but what's wrong with negative 7? It's inside what? Parentheses. And where's parentheses in SADMAP? It's at the end, right? So we don't want to touch it yet, okay? So we can't deal with any subtraction signs. There isn't anything else. Addition signs, there isn't any addition signs by the x. It says plus x, but that's just telling you that it's x. Division signs, yeah, there's a divide by 10 right here, right? What's the opposite of divide by 10? Multiply by 10. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 10. We know this is 10 over 1. This cancels out with this 10, leaving just negative 7 plus x is equal to 1 times 10, which is 10, okay? Next thing we're going to do is see if there's any multiplication signs. Nope. Exponents, no. Parentheses, we did say there were parentheses around here, so now we could look inside of there and start again. What's next to the x is -7, so you add 7 to both sides. So x is equal to 17. Okay? This one's a little bit longer. Now we're going to just find our answer, or what we did, justify our work. We use the multiplication property. And we use the addition property. And that's it. That's your answer. Okay? So that's what we're going to do in homework tonight. Once you get good at it, it goes pretty quickly, actually. Okay? Any questions? What I'd like you to do? Number 3. Okay? Let's do this one together. Okay? We're doing this one together. So, first thing we're going to do on the side is just, figure out where your equal sign is. So, we're going to, oops, sorry about that. Step 1, put our equal sign down and draw a fence. Okay. Next thing you're going to do is write SADMEP on the side, someplace where you could write it horizontally. It doesn't matter. I'll write it at the top so that it's like easy to go through. Are there any subtraction signs by the x here? Yes or no? Are there any subtraction signs by the x?
Yes.
No, there aren't. There's a times sign and a plus sign. That's not a subtraction sign.
Oh.
On number 3.
Sorry.
That's okay. I think you're thinking, what's the opposite of +1?
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Any addition signs, everyone? Yeah, what's the opposite of +1? -1, okay? So we got -1 here. We're going to put -1 on the opposite side. Draw a line. So 3x comes down, and then +1, -1 cancels out. And what's -1 minus, or -2 minus 1? -3. So you have to be really careful with your integers on this one. Okay? We're done with the addition sign. Are there any division signs by the x? No. How about multiplication signs? Yeah, what's between the 3 and the x? Times, right? What's being multiplied with x? Positive or -3?
Positive.
Good. So we want to divide by +3 on both sides. When we do that, we get x is equal to -1, right? Make sure yours looks like that. Just to go quickly through this, what's the first step we use? What's the justification for the first step? What was the property? Subtraction property, right? What about the second step? Good, addition. So we're just going to write that down. Subtraction property. And then addition property, okay? That's it. Okay, excellent. Next one, number 4. This one's similar, but it's near the end, you're gonna have to think about what you're dividing by. Okay, ready, go. Oh, I'm sorry. Pushed the wrong button here. I'm just gonna write SADMEP at the top. I got a question for you. Is this -3 a subtraction sign? Yes or no? No, it's being multiplied, right? So -3 is being multiplied with p. So be careful, okay? Okay, so on this one, number 4, first thing we want to do is check if there's subtraction signs. There aren't. This looks like a subtraction sign, but it's not. It's actually being multiplied. -3 is being multiplied by p. Okay, so addition signs, yeah, there's an addition. This is a -4, so we're going to do -4 on both sides. When you do that, you get -3p is equal to -15. Okay. Continuing, any division signs? No. Multiply signs, yeah, there's a multiply sign between -3 and p. When the opposite of multiplying by -3 is dividing by -3. So I'm going to divide both sides by -3. -3 divided by -3 is just p. They cancel out. Okay. Negative 15 divided by negative 3 is? Positive 5. That's it. Okay, some of you didn't put the p is equal to. Please make sure you put p is equal to, and so forth. If you didn't get that right, please do it correctly now. Go. Okay, number 5. Okay, this one's a little harder. What are you noticing about number 5 that's there already? Parentheses, right? When do we deal with parentheses? At the beginning or at the end? At the end, right? So we're going to write sad map down just so we know that it's at the end, okay? So are there any subtraction signs by the p? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, but what's wrong with the subtraction sign? It's in what? Oh, okay, in parentheses. So can we touch it yet? No, okay. What is this 3 doing to the parentheses? What's happening with it? Is it being multiplied, right? So pretend that the 3 is being multiplied, or we could assume that. Okay, so let's just go through this. Subtraction signs, we can't touch it yet, so we're going to just leave that alone. Are there any addition signs by the p?
Yes.
Plus p, though. It's just telling me it's a positive p. Is that true? Yeah, it's positive p. Let's leave that alone. Division signs. Are there any division signs by the p? No. Any multiply signs? Yeah, it's multiply by 3. What's the opposite of multiply by 3? Divide by 3. Okay, so we're going to divide by 3 first. 3 and 3 cancels out, leaving negative 5 plus p is equal to... What's negative 45 divided by 3? Negative 15. Okay? Keep going. This one's all by yourself now. Let's finish this off. You have negative 5 plus p is equal to negative 15. Go. Okay, again, yeah, you want to add 5 here and add 5 here, right? Or think about what the gentleman said on Friday, right? He said, let's say you owed someone $5 and then your dad did something with your money and then you owed negative 15, right? What did he do? What did he do? Took you out for dinner, right? You guys like that, right? Negative 10, right? So it's like your dad gave you more money, so you owe even more money, right? Because the money you owe, it's like this, right? Negative 5, that's how much money you owed, right? And then your dad did something with you, and then you owed more money, right? What happened? Did he give you money, or did you borrow money? Borrowed, right? How much did you borrow? $10. Did you see that? Okay, so if it's hard, think about a story to go in there. Okay, last one, number 6. Actually, we're going to end the lesson right there for the sake of time.